Hey guys, Chris from Provo Beast Audio Installation, and in today's video we're working on this 2008 Toyota 4Runner. Now this is actually a special trim of this 4Runner. It's actually the UrbanRunner, and it has the built-in TOMTOM screen. Now in this video what we're going to be doing is removing this factory radio, heading over to the bench. We're going to show you how to wire up the new doubled-in touchscreen radio with the wiring harness and assembling the dash kit, and we'll return here to get it all reinstalled. Let's get started. Alright, so right before we jump into things, couple of things to note. This model 4Runner did not come with the upgraded factory JBL sound system, so we don't have to retain that. However, it did come with steering wheel volume controls, which we will retain. First thing we need to do is open our center console. And then what I like to do is use my hands, kind of grab the sides here, just give it a tug, just like that. Use your fingers, just kind of work it loose. Unplug any harnesses that are there, so this is up and out of the way, just like that. Set this off to the side. Okay, now once that's out of the way, same thing, we can grab this silver piece and kind of pull up on it, like that. We can open up this little pocket here. We can actually give it a tug, just like that. There's a 10mm bolt that's right there. Let's remove that. Once that's out, you can actually get your fingers up underneath, pop out your HVAC controls, kind of use a panel tool if needed here. Now, our little beauty trim bezel, whether you have this or not, also came on out. If you disconnect this harness here and then end up starting the car, you're going to trip the light on the dash. So keep that in mind. Don't start the car if this is unplugged. Now, while this is out and out of the way, we can actually remove these two 10mm bolts right underneath the radio. Now, before we start pulling on it, there are 10mm exposed for just this panel. So we'll get one on the right side here, one on the left side. Okay, so once that's out of the way, you'll see it'll flex a little bit. What I like to do is grab kind of the bottom and pull up. And you don't have to take it completely out, it just needs to expose the screw that we're looking to remove, and I'll show you what that looks like. Pull this off to the side, you're gonna see it. That's the screw, that's the 10mm bolt right in there that we need to remove. Okay, so now with the bolt removed out of here and everything out of the way, with these bolts also removed up underneath the radio, we have two more bolts to remove, and they're further back, but we can't get to them until this bezel is out of the way. So you can use your fingers and kind of give it a tug, but essentially this needs to come out. Just like so. Now you're going to have a harness on each side. Go ahead and disconnect those harnesses. It's a little tight, but it should come on out. Just like so. We have now gained the access we need to pull out the last two 10mm, which are on each side of the radio. With those 10mm removed, all four of them now, we can pull the radio on out. Disconnect your harnesses. Alright, with your stereo out of the way, let's head over to the bench and start wiring up the new one. Alright, so we're here at the bench. Now, the parts that we're going to need for our install today, first and foremost, is the radio that we've decided to go with. It's the Sony XAV AX1000. And now for the wiring harness, it will vary based on your trim level. So, just standard, not amplified 4Runner. With steering wheel controls and such, you'll need the SWRTY61S. This retains steering wheel controls and the factory aux. If you have the JBL factory sound system, you'll need the JBL version of this harness, which we'll link down in the description. It also retains steering wheel controls. And the third variant, which we're dealing with here today, is the UrbanRunner radio, which doesn't use this harness. Doesn't use the factory JBL harness either, and what we're going to do is modify this harness that it came with to accommodate our new radio, which we'll show you how to do. So in this video, because we have the special Toyota radio that has the built-in TOMTOM, there's not really a standard harness that works for it. However, it did have a dongle behind it where this end plugged into factory plugs and this end plugged into the radio. What we can do here is actually it's already labeled with the aftermarket colors, believe it or not. This was a harness and it even looks like a Pioneer harness. It's not pinned the same, but it's very similar to a Pioneer harness. What we're going to be doing is modifying this harness. We'll probably cut this. There's a couple of different connections here. We won't use every wire, but what we're going to do is start modifying and identifying what wires we'll need, and then the ends that we don't use we'll plug back into the radio in the event down the road you're looking to reinstall the factory one. Okay, so what we've done is from our original harness, we cut out just these two. Now this harness here has all our wiring for our aftermarket radio that actually will wire up color for color. What we've done is stripped both ends. We'll use every wire in this harness. In the secondary harness, we have our accessory power, which is red. Our solid blue is our antenna amp turn on. We have our 3 steering wheel control wires, which is blue yellow, red yellow, and brown black. Then all these other ones we're not going to use in our install here today. Tied our red and our blue together just so the amplified antenna circuit receives that 12-volt signal when the car is on. And finally, our 3 steering wheel control wires here. Generally your brown black on this one needs to be grounded. And then these 2 are our signal wires. Because this is really the exception to the rule and we're not using the crux harness or any of the crux harness. Again, this is only if you have the UrbanRunner. What we're going to be doing is manually wiring up our steering wheel controls using an steering wheel pack interface, the SWI RC-1. So this is what this harness is for, and the ones that we're going to use in this harness are power and ground, which are these guys. So what we'll do is tee these power and grounds of our steering wheel control harness into our main harness here, so it can also get power. We'll need our solid white. We may need white black. We'll do a little bit of testing, and that's it. It does provide 2 grounds here, which is great, so we're going to use them. Then all these other wires we're not going to use, we'll just tape off or cut short. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start matching color for color. Like I said, this harness here literally will match color for color. We have already put our heat shrink on over our main harness connector, and we're going to be soldering today. Alright, so we've wired everything up color for color here. For the reverse gear trigger wire, we actually just left that on out and put a butt connector on it so we can add our trigger later on when we add a camera. And then same thing with the blue white wire, the remote turn on. Our harness doesn't require it, so we left it out in case we do add a sub and amp down the road or another amplifier. Everything else is color for color. All your speaker wires, power ground, remote, accessory ignition, illumination. From this point forward, we're going to move our heat shrink up and over these connections. Then we'll use a heat gun and shrink the tubes. Alright, so we shrunk those tubes. Now, the last thing here, let's talk about our steering wheel controls. So with our SWIRC-1, our pack module, it requires 5 wires. Wire number 1 is power, which remember, we teed into our power red wire. We showed you that before. Wire 2 is ground. So there's 2 grounds, just choose one of them. One of those grounds will tee into the ground like we did here. So that's power and ground. Wire number 3 is going to be your other ground. And in our module here, this brown with a black stripe wire, that's your ground. And if we happen to follow this into the harness, and on the other side of the harness, according to pack, it turns into a white with a red stripe. That's what our other ground in our pack module needs to connect into. Wire number 4 is SWIRC white wire. Needs to connect into this. It's the red yellow wire in our harness. Now on the other end where it connects into in the car, it's also a purple white wire. It's a purple white here, but it happens to be red white here, and that's what our white wire needs to connect into. Then our 5th wire and our last wire, our white black wire, needs to connect into this blue yellow wire. And again, on the other end where it connects into the actual color in the vehicle is yellow black. So we've also put heat shrink up. We're going to cover those connections with our heat shrink. Wires that are unused in all of our harnesses at this point, we have an orange, pink, gray, orange, white, black, and a black. So these three here, these three guys, are your aux that comes in from the center console. And so your black is your aux ground, your white with a black stripe is your right channel, and your gray with an orange stripe is your left channel. So it kind of looks like this here. This was your aux. Now both right and left both have a negative wire as well, but they're grounded, and they're usually combined into one. They share a ground. So you would share your ground here on this one. And then your white, which is your left, would go to this guy. Your right channel would go to this guy. So that's how that would hook up there. Orange is our illumination wire, not our dimmer. There's a difference in this model. So this essentially will have a different resistance based on the brightness of the dash. We're not going to use it because our Sony radio doesn't support it. And then our pink wire, I think that's some sort of data wire. And also this 4Runner is equipped with a GPS antenna and other equipment from the factory. And it may have something to do with that. But regardless, we're not using it. We'll just cap it off. We're not retaining our aux because on our new radio, our aux is on the front of it. So these wires will also go unused. But basically everything else is done. What we'll do now from this point is wrap our harness with some Tessa tape and get the dash pieces onto the radio. All right, harness is all done, good to go. We left that aux here in the back just in case down the road there is a radio with the aux on the back. It's easy and accessible. Harness is all wrapped up. This end goes to the steering wheel control input on the back of the radio. This end goes to the power harness on the back of the radio, and then this plugs into our stock harnesses in the dash. All good to go. Set this off to the side. Grab our Metro 95-8202 dash kit, little wingy dash kit, and get them mounted up to our radio. So at this point of time, with this new radio all assembled and the wiring harness all done, let's head back over to the car and start getting everything reinstalled. All right, so we're back here in the car. We're ready to start getting our radio all installed. Got our harness that we put together on the bench. Let's go ahead and plug it on in, just like so. It's all plugged in. We can start plugging in our radio. Okay, so we got everything connected here. So at this point in time, we can go ahead and put our radio all in. Now we can go ahead and put the backs 10 millimeters in. Okay, so at this point in time, it's a good idea to go ahead and give it a test. We got this panel plugged in because it has the airbag sensor in it. So we got audio. Let's check our steering wheel controls.
You will find that is a well-populated county.
Let's do our track up, track down. That works. Mode. Yep. Okay, that all seems to be working perfect. Now let's go ahead and finish reassembling the radio. All right, radio's all back in. Everything is working great. Steering wheel controls are working well, just as we expected here in this install today. That's about it. If you have any questions on what we did here, go ahead and post a comment below. Now, also what we're going to be doing is in this install, we are doing a backup camera as well as a sub and amp, and we're doing door speaker. So we'll link all those other installs on this 4Runner in the description below. Thanks again for watching. Hit the like button if you like what you saw, and don't forget to subscribe. We post great content on the channel all the time, and we will see you in the next video.